Tigra is my first Ascended champion, and I just felt like showing off how completely ridiculous she is in Battlegrounds with this little showcase here. And we'll start off with this Absorbing Man, and the only hard thing about Absorbing Man for Tigra is the fact that when he's in Uru form, he has a bunch of physical resistance. So if we just try to get him out of that when we throw our SP2, he's just going to get nuked just like pretty much everything. Like as you can see there, he's only lost 97% from a bunch of heavy attacks, but now that that Uru form is gone, we can absolutely maul him. Just like this, and then just bait a special attack after. And then, yeah, are we even going to bait a special attack? No, we're just going to charge our heavy and then do our SP1. So, yeah, that's a pretty good start with the Tigra showcase with a 37-second Absman takedown. So next up is this Idom here, who I forgot to start recording earlier, but now we're recording it at least, so anyway, we just lost a couple seconds there, but this is in the Gladiator Circuit meta actually, so we do have to watch the staggers on myself, make sure I have enough time to keep the unblockable up, and then we're just gonna have a good time. And this SP2 obviously just completely nukes him, and it feels great, and then we just heavy at the end of his special too, just like that. Pretty nice, pretty easy, 31 seconds. And now we have Gore next up, and so, you know, this is one of Tigra's common matchups just because the neutralized against Gore is quite ridiculous, and we just want to bait his SP1s and then counter them, and then we're gonna have a good day. And yeah, bait SP1 here, 4 dashbacks is usually as much as you have to do for it. And we throw our special 2 with, I think it's going to be 5 ruptures, going to counter this heavy attack right here. And then we go for it, and it's just going to absolutely wipe him off the face of the planet. Completely cracked, man. And yeah, my opponent disconnected. I didn't get to see what the final score was, but you know, it was pretty fast. Next up is the rank 5 Ascended Dr. Doom, and my Tigra is only rank 4 Ascended, so we are at a disadvantage. However, you're going to see Tigra still is completely cracked, and this Doom goes down in a reasonable amount of time. And yeah, so what we're just going to do is try to push Doom to SP2, and not let him throw SP1 if we can help it, just because the aura makes it to where we can't really knock him down, which, you know, Tigra's whole thing is knocking down champs, so we gotta avoid activating the aura, of course, and we're just going to bait this SP2, dex, dash in, and then we miss it. We throw the SP2 with only 3 ruptures, which is unfortunate, but we're going to have more for the later SP2s, so it doesn't do too much damage, but it does do a decent amount. Then we just push him to another SP2 there with our relic, and dex, dash in, and then we counter it with the heavy attack, and go for another SP2, just like that. And yeah, we're in the rhythm pretty much. We just need to get him to another bar of power, and then we just bait this special attack, and yeah, he's pretty much lights out just like that. I gotta resist, but it's okay. The ruptures, never mind, we just kill him with our another SP2. So, you know, obviously it's not the craziest thing out there, but you know, a Doom without a science champ, especially one at that level, I'd say was pretty impressive. Anyway, so next up we have Thing. And Thing is a fun matchup for Tigra just because if you know what you're doing, it's a pretty satisfying fight. The only thing you have to worry about here is not pushing Thing to 15 rock stacks and letting your neutralize fall off. Otherwise, the neutralize will prevent the unstoppable every time. Another thing we want to work around is the protection. Just try to not bait heavies as much unless the protection's on cooldown. Just counter his SP1. And yeah, just have a good time like that. Like there I couldn't hit him because my neutralize fell off and he was above 15 rock stacks. But that's a little unfortunate, but it's not that big a deal. We're just going to bait a heavy here while his protection's on cooldown, so we don't have to worry about that triggering. Throw the SP2. Our senses are falling off quite quickly, so that is something I have to keep in mind. However, we're going to get to our next SP2 extremely quickly, so it's not going to be that big a deal. We just need him to throw a special attack right here. We counter it. Get a decent amount of ruptures back, and yeah, we're just chugging along once again. Triggers protection, and I am running close to my senses falling off, but I can get one more SP2 off just before they fall off, and his protection was gone. So now we're just going to kill him with some SP1s right after this heavy attack, and yeah, that'll do it. pretty fast thing to take down, considering, you know, he is one of the tankier defenders in the game, and it's obviously class disadvantage, like how many mystics are going to take thing down like that. So next up is Tigra versus Tigra. I don't know how I got this fight, I just somehow did, and it's a pretty easy one. I know how to space this fight correctly. I've done it a couple times for some reason, I don't even know how. And anyway, we just need to bait her SB1 or SB2 or heavy attack. We can counter all three of them really easily with Tigra's heavy attack. And yeah, it's a pretty good time. I did mess up there a little bit. I was a little slow on the heavy counter, but you know, pretty fine now, and we just need to counter this special one a little faster than the last time, just like that, and then we throw our SP2 here, and yeah, she's getting absolutely destroyed. I probably could have even killed her with an SP1 right after, but doesn't even matter. We just do it just like that, and yeah, pretty good time. So next up is Galleon, and Galleon is just perfect matchup for Tigra. Her neutralize removes everything that's hard about fighting Galleon, which obviously is when he gains buffs, he gains mass, and neutralize just makes it to where he doesn't gain buffs. Pretty easy. So ideally we bait SP1s in this fight, but it really doesn't matter. At one time, I think Galleon would place Incinerates on you with his SP2 when it would miss for some reason, but I think that was a bug that they fixed, because I push him to SP2 this fight and it doesn't do that, so I guess they changed it, I don't know. But anyway, the staggers ate up my unblockable there, which is a little funny because I didn't think about that. But either way, it doesn't matter because we still get it on the hits afterwards, and now we just dex this SP2, not dex, we miss it, you know. And then I'm going to bait this SP1, counter it with my heavy attack, then nuke him with an SP2 directly after. And then this SP2 is just going to have a completely busted amount of overkill right at the end there. So yeah, that's Galleon. Next up we have, I believe, an Atuma, and yeah, so this is one of those fights where I'm just trying to see how fast she can take him down and how much health I can come out with. It's a really easy heavy counter. I can counter his SP1 most of the time. Sometimes I mess up the heavy counter, like I think I do in this fight, where I do it a little bit, or just misspace it a little bit. But either way, we're just trying to see how fast she can take him down, and it's going to be pretty fast. We're going to throw this SP2 here with 9 ruptures at the start. It does a crap ton of damage, and then now we're just going to bait his SP1 and counter that. He throws it, but I misspaced it, so I just quickly throw my relic there, and then we just kill him with a heavy counter right there. We finish with 78% health, which really ain't that bad without being able to counter his thorns or anything. I'm happy with it. And I'm happy with the send to Tigra. She's absolutely cracked, as you'd expect, and yeah, she's a good time. One of my favorite champs to play. I'm happy. Thank you for watching.